Hello everyone. So today the sun is shining, making today an ideal day for a little urban street photography in Surabaya. After finishing work, I decided to take a stroll along street Kranggan. It's Jalan Kranggan in Indonesia. Camera in my hand to capture some street scenes. The streets are relatively quiet, a gentle flow of motorbike and cars. So yesterday I acquired a new lens, a TT Artisan 50mm manual focus fixed lenses, and I'm eager to experiment with its capabilities. Rather than simply relying on its default setting, I'm particularly interested in exploring its potential at f.16. My hope is to achieve exceptional sharpness throughout the entire frame. So let's see. Could my ambition matches the reality? So let's get the result. Okay, so f.16 is the smallest aperture, right? The smaller the aperture, the darker the image gets. But my goal is to get everything in focus, from foreground to background. It's totally sharp. I've seen some content creators like Eduardo Ortiz. Yeah, he's amazing. I'm curious if I can get shot like this. He's a total master of layering. And then there's a f.16. You should check him out on Instagram. His stuff is killer. He makes these shots where the world feels layered, some objects huge and some tiny, like he'll replace someone's head with a dog. It's so creative, I think. I'm wondering if I can pull that off. I'm really trying to nail that look. It's a huge challenge, but I want to see if I can make something as cool as his work. Yeah man, it's kinda like, whoa, no, that's too super advanced for me. I'm still pretty new to this photography thing. I saw these kids and his mom, and I was like, yeah, I gotta get layered shot of them. That'd be awesome. I shot it in black and white, just for the extra vibe. But it's boring, right? To only get one shot, you know? I'm thinking about trying a different angle, maybe shooting from behind them, see what that looks like. Yeah, I was really hoping to get everything super sharp, but my settings were probably off. The photos are a little blurry, which is not good, I think. I think it's because I had the shutter speed on auto. For street photography, you gotta set it around 100 at least, but then it's kinda dark and I'm worried about that. It's a tricky balance, you know? I gotta practice more, get better at this whole photography thing. Maybe I'll ask some more experienced photographer for tips, see what they do. Yeah, I gotta keep learning and experimenting. Okay, so there is these security guards over there. I'm wondering if I can get a cool shot from the air, you know, like a really good composition. Yeah, there's a parking sign over there too. Maybe I can work that into the shot. I'm hoping to get a photo where the people looks tiny, you know. But I'm still a long way from being as pro as f.16. That guy in Thailand is insane. He's got a crazy talent for making everything looks amazing, I think. And look, there's a lady is taking a picture from her son, I think. I wonder if I can get a shot, the person of taking photo. That would be fun and twist. I'm always trying to find new angles and perspective, you know. It's all about experimenting and seeing what works. Yeah, so my city actually pretty, but there's like trash everywhere. It's kinda an eyesore, you know. I wanted to take some picture of some cool stuff, but it was kinda dark. There was this parking sign pointing right, and there was this dude in front of it, sitting. I was like, yeah, I cannot take a picture where it looks like the dude is the sign, you know, like this. The photo itself is pretty good, but it's kinda dark and the subject isn't sharp. But actually there's an old man in the background of the sign. He's actually pretty cool. He's walking around and he's totally aware of the camera. And then there's this panda statue. It's like, yeah, it's good, cute, right? I wanna try to take a pic where it looks like the panda is kissing this girl. Like this. Yeah, that's just why my weird way of seeing things when I'm taking photos. I see the world like that, you know. And there was these old guys and ladies selling newspaper and clothes in front of the mall. I heard that if you want to make something look tiny or minimalist in a photo, you have to use the foreground. So that's what I tried. A few times actually I was using a trash as a foreground, hoping to make the person look small. It didn't turn out that great though. I hope you get what I mean. I wanted to make the person looks like minimalist. Yeah, I'm using f.16 aperture that's supposed to make the foreground and background appear the same size. So it looks like the person is standing on the object. Like this. The person, what I mean is standing on the car. But yeah, it was my first time trying it. Finding good shots for street photography is tough, especially when you spot someone cool in a car like this. Yeah, it's like straight out of the movie scene, right? You get that vibe, right? I saw this silhouette in a car and someone else was about to get in. I wanted to shoot from far away using my 50mm lens. Yeah, it's great for getting the atmosphere, but the downside is that is too far. I end up zooming in a lot, which is, I couldn't get closer to the subject. It's a trade-off. Even though the photos turns out great, the people passing by are too distant. Yeah, it's good, but it really depends on your taste. I hung around waiting for the perfect moment, trying to get a shot of these people. It's just harder to get that intimate feels if you are shooting from directly in front of them. Okay, so I've got a few people here, and I'm trying to do these layering things like Eduardo Ortiz does. There's someone in the foreground and someone else in the background, having to create that layer effect. And then next to me, there's a car with its trunk open. I'm thinking another layering shot. I think it will look cool. Layering seems like a really awesome skill for street photography. And and I see some people cooking in their kitchen. I wonder if I can get a good shot there. That's another layering technique, but using reflection in a mirror. I got that idea from Faisal Westcott, that YouTube dude from America. But I really prefer that kind of layering where you have a subject in the foreground and one in the background. Look at this guy in the car. He looks awesome, right? I want to get a shot of him in the car. Okay, so I'm completely obsessed with this layering technique right now. It's amazing how the foreground element just jumps out. Even when your main focus is on the background. The biggest mistake I made during yesterday's shoot. Yeah, using auto shutter speed. Seriously, I should have taken control of the shutter speed to get those crisp, sharp images. I had this great opportunity, a group of people shopping for gold toys. It's perfect for layering, but the photos come out too dark. It's no big deal, I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure I can get a better result. There are a few layering techniques I really want to experiment with. One is when your main subject is far away, you need to find a strong foreground element to create that compelling depth. I've been trying this approach a lot lately, and it's interesting how the photos become more narrative, more like a little stories. Like I saw this older gentleman just chilling, hanging out. I literally want to say hello and maybe chat with him a bit before I took a picture, get his permission and maybe even build a connection. But I'm not quite as brave as Eduardo Ortiz. He just walks right up and starts chatting with people. I'm still working up to that level of confidence. Instead, I just snapped a photo from a distance. Then I saw this woman sweeping, and that would have been another fantastic layering opportunity. The thing is, the photos are too zoomed in my 50mm lens. It just isn't working for me. I've experimented with 23mm and 25mm, and 25mm feels much better. It's closer how we see the world every day, making framing easier. Most of my shots are half-body shots, and it's hard to get a full body shot. But I think full body shots are really effective in street photography. Yeah, what I love about f.16 focal length is that you don't have to worry about focusing everything perfectly. Everything is sharp. It's not like using wider aperture like f1.2 or f1.4 where you get that blurry bokeh effect that makes street photography with manual lens so much slower. What I really need is the right framing to create a photos that tells a story. That's what I'm aiming for, not a blurry background. Blurry backgrounds are great for portraits, but here I'm focusing on getting that framing just right. Like I took up pictures of this guy sitting on his porch, seemingly alone, while in the background someone else is sitting on a chair. I was trying to capture the feelings of loneliness, that sense of quiet isolation. That's the kind of emotion I want to convey in my photos. Not every shot works out though. Some photos are completely blurry, or just don't capture the moment the way I envisioned. But sometimes you get lucky. The timing is perfect. The elements align and the photos become something truly beautiful. It's all about patience, observation, and a little bit of luck. I think the reflection in the car windows and the building reflected in the glass were really cool, but what really caught my eyes was these photos. A young couple holding hands walking in front of an older man who's looking down. It would be even cooler if I could edit it to make it look like a costly image, a sort of ethereal quality. That's what I was hoping to achieve. I followed that young couple because I'd seen an older man sitting there looking very downcast earlier that afternoon, and I wondered if I could capture that scene, that contrast. I got a few photos, but I didn't have time to film the whole things. It's amazing how you can bring a faraway subject closer, but the downside is that you lose the details, their expression, what they're doing. I was so focused on zooming in. I wasn't really observing them properly. It would have been much easier if my viewfinder was working, but it's broken, so I couldn't see the scene properly. Especially since I was shooting from so far away, I just couldn't catch their expression. It's frustrating when technical limitations prevent you from capturing the nuance of the moment. So thank you guys for watching my street photography videos, and see you around.